This is Ian with RLB Motorsports, and today we are installing a rear chase light on this Polaris Pro R RZR. To install this chase light, we're going to install the bar here on this back bar underneath that wing of the roof. The harness of the chase light is going to come down this tube here. There's going to be a wire running down here to this tail light for the plug and play pigtail. The switch and the power and ground are going to run down behind the firewall through this kick panel up and under the dash, and the power and ground are going to go to the pulse bar underneath this cubby, and the switch is going to go right here next to the factory one. As you guys have seen, we've taken out the seats and harnesses. You do not need to do that to do this installation. We have done that because we have another project going on with this car, and the installation is just as easy if your seats and harnesses were still in the car. So this is the box that the chase light comes in. We're going to go over everything that comes in with your purchase. So if you open your box to your chase light, take your chase light out with the harness and the hardware and the instructions. Get this out of the way. So there are detailed instructions on how to install your chase light in the box. This is the hardware to mount your chase light. And on the chase light itself, there's this 8-pin Deutsch connector that plugs into this connector on the harness. You also have this triangle Deutsch connector that will run to the back of your car and plug into the pigtail that's plugged into your taillight. You have your red and black accessory power. And we also have a plug a little bit down from the rocker switch to make it a nice, easy install for So the way that we mount our light bars are with our universal chase light mounts. This L bracket spins a full 360, and you can move these anywhere you want on the bar to get your chase light as level as possible. Our chase light has a slide track system on the bottom and the back, so you can mount these chase light mounting brackets down and on the back of the bar if you choose to do so. Here's the pulse plug coming in the package when you order it. We have a separate one out here that we're going to put on our harness for our chase light. So what you want to do is you're going to want to cut these connectors off for the positive and ground. Cut the wire back on both of them. And on the pulse plug, the red is hot power, the yellow is accessory power, and the black is ground. For this application, we're going to use the accessory power and the ground. So we want to take back on these wires and grab our butt connectors that come in the package. Get them in. Crimp these down. For accessory wire going in. Crimp those down. Then we get our red and black on our harness. So the red goes with the yellow, which is our accessory power. Once we get that in there, grab our crimpers. Crimp that down. And then our black ground wire will go with the black ground wire on the pulse plug itself. Crimp that down. We can get our handy torch and heat up the butt connector so it gives a nice secure down on that wire so nothing's going to come out of its spot. And there we go. Our pulse plug is in line with our chase light harness. All right, to install this switch in the dash, what you want to do is reach around and pick whichever one you want of these. We're going to go next to the factory switch, and you want to push on the back of it, and these pop out super easy. We have our wire harness ran through already, so we can pop this out of the dash, plug these together, feed the rest of it through, and just like that, your switch is installed in the dash. All right, so we have our switch in the dash. Now for the pulse bar, what you're gonna do is open this middle cubby in the dash. Get that like there. Our pulse bar is right here. So our pulse plug is already wired in. We fed it through the dash. What you want to do is unplug that plug or any of them and bring the cap out. This is what the cap looks like. And grab our pulse plug and plug that in where we took the cap out of. Now we have accessory power going to our pulse bar. Another thing to mention is our 8-pin plug. This plug is going up to the light itself. Now when you look into it, one of these holes, which is this one right here on the very end, and it'll be on this side or this side depending on how you're holding the plug, there'll be a missing pin along with a pin missing in here. As you can tell, there's one right there that's missing. You want to make sure that those are lined up to get a proper connection for the light to work fully. They'll go in both ways, but you just got to make sure you line those up perfectly. And another way to tell, there's these little rivets here on the outside of this plug and in the inside of this one. So if you line those up, you know you got it in correctly. And just like that, we have our chase light mounted to that back bar. Our plug and play pigtail plugged here to the back of the tail light. Our chase light harness ran down this tube, down to this rocker panel, up into the dash with our switch mounted right here and our pulse plug all wired up. If you have any questions on how to install our chase light, please email us or give us a call. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications.